Yeah, that's recording now. All right. Uh, yeah. With that being said, I did say anything below from here, anything below this level would then be, solid for the sellers, because remember yesterday I did say price might come here and then break below. Anything below here you can look to take to the downside. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can then be able to, looking at how they were able to look at some of the opportunities. Some of the opportunities they happened during Asian session, because me, I was sleeping that time, so there was no way I could have got those movements, right? So remember we do have most of the sessions. Let me see if Tokyo, yeah, Tokyo. Uh, yeah. So some of the sessions they happened after New York, which was the Asian session. So price, as you can see, when you went down on the five, price went up to correct price, right? Up to this level, right? So then people like, okay, how did I spot that they could have entered, right? So immediately, even though you can see what price did, right? Even though you can see what price did, price will always give you structure. Let's talk about how price ended up coming to this level in terms of an entry to the downside. You get what I'm saying? So, with that being said, one of the things that most people could have maybe looked at and then be able to like, okay, um, an entry. Let me see what I can try to play around with. You know what I'm saying? Starting with the 15. Remember, we already have the indication on the 1 hour, so we can start from the 15 minute, right? So with the 15 minute, you have price making a higher high, making a higher low, and then making a higher high. Price broke above that level, giving you indication below this level here, right? Price gave you an indication below this level, as you can see below this level, right? Let me just switch on these sessions, right? Yeah. Price broke below, giving you an indication below this level on a 15-minute time frame. I'm not sure if it's gonna. It didn't call. It didn't actually mark it, but I think on the 5 minute it did mark it, right? Yeah. You see. Yeah, it didn't really mark it that well also, but it's still fine. So as you can see, this consolidation may end up making a high and a higher low on the 15 minute. Price went going up from there, making a higher high. Price supposed to have come back from to this level and continue to the upside, but price didn't do that. So price instead went to the downside. You know what I'm saying? Breaking the higher lows which were here, giving an indication. Then price went up to correct price. You get what I'm saying? It went up to correct price. So as far as entries are concerned, one of the things that could have clicked to you is when price was going to correct that 15 minute where it gave you an indication, price going back to correct. There was a shift in market structure. Price started to make, price made a high, high made a lower, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's all you needed, right? As much as I tried to make it look simple, that's all you needed. But also from even from here, price as we was going to the upside, price started making lower lows and lower highs, lower higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high. That was also solid for a sell. You get what I'm saying? But because I was looking at it from a smaller time frame, you could have said, but price could have easily went to the upside. Yeah, that's understandable. But price is busy making lower lows and lower highs to the downside before to that give you an indication. So that's how I want to explain. I don't want to end up, like explaining from how I saw it, but I would have got in from there because I'm on a level where price has shown me it can sell before. You know what I'm saying? So I just needed a lower low and a lower high. That's it. But from this, where you can see ICC happen, price made a lower low, went up to correct price, started making lower lows and lower highs. So one of the things that could have stood out, okay, once price made a lower low, where you have double indications, you have the 1 hour indication, you have the 15-minute indication, right? So you are under two levels of indication. You could have marked this lower low where price made a lower low below price, right? So this level round about here, right? So you're like, okay, I wanna see price give me a higher lower high, right? Let's see what price does. Price as price comes down to the downside gives you a lower high, right? And then one of the things, obviously, you would have had a sell stop being made. You would have a sell stop below this here, because if price did go up to the upside to make a higher high above this high here, then that would have invalidated the entry, right? So your 1 is to 3, as far as your 1 is to 3 is concerned, your 1 is to 3 would have been just about here, right? So let's see how price ends up, playing out, another lower high we made. So price is definitely showing you that price is bearish. Lower low, lower high we made, you know, as you can see, price continues to the downside again and again and again. Lower, it keeps on making structure and again to the downside. You get what I'm saying? As price is going to the downside. I don't have a problem with how side teaches ICC, right? But I have a problem with just entering. I know most of the time you can walk, like okay, you under a level where you got that indication of the 1 hour. Price came here, right? But you don't know if it can go further up to go and correct. So if you were gonna just sell from here, and where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss would be here, so you would be playing on a what is see on a 1 to 1.5. This would have been your entry. Sure, it looks good, but it doesn't even come. It would have came to hit TP, but you know, it would have came indeed. It would have came to hit TP. But what I'm saying is, if you prefer this way, I mean, you can do it that way. Still fine, works fine. I mean, that's if that's what you want. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that if that's what you want, right? If that's what you want, you can do it. It ended up playing out, as you can see, right? It ended up playing out right to the T, right? If that's how you prefer, I'm not stopping you from doing it. I'm just showing you ways where you can able to see price on a small time frame. Because this here, from here, which was just an hour after market open today, up until here, this is 8 hours. You could have waited 8 hours for the move, or you could have took moves in between where you can see price giving indication, come back to correct. Anything below that level is solid for sales. Same thing, indication price going to correct. Anything below that is solid for sales. Same thing, indication price coming back toward it. Anything below that is solid for sales. So here you could have risked $100 to make $150. Okay, that's 1.5. All right. So now if I'm showing you this on a small time frame, how you can take advantage of the 15-minute indications that were happening, right? We had price give indication, correct, anything below that would be straight for, another indication, price correct, anything below the lower low and the lower high, solid for sales, right? Another indication, right? Indication correct, anything below that level is solid for sales, with a lower low and a lower high, right? Lower low, lower high. Sorry, I need to include the weeks. You must always include the weeks. Don't forget to include the weeks. You must always include the weeks. Lower low and lower high, right? Stop loss just above the lower highs. 1 is to 3. Let me see. Yeah, stop loss just above the lower highs. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, stop loss just above the lower highs. This would have probably been maybe like a 4 point stop loss. I would give it a 4 point stop loss, yeah. And then there's your 1 is to 3. So here you got all of these trades would have been the same textbook trades that you can be scalping on your account. So it was gonna be repeating itself over and over and over again, right? So that's how you could have seen these trades play out, right? Until price ended up making another indication below this level, where price ended up making another indication below here, right? Because you have the indication price made another indication below this level, but then because of where the indication came from, this level here, as you can see, price is still holding Price is sort of holding this level, as you can see here. Price is holding this level, right? Price is strictly holding this level. So anything below, if price comes to the downside, anything below here would be grounds for sales. Anything that will come below this level, you then take sales to the downside. This thing will repeat itself, guys. The entry method, they will be there to help you execute. You just need a lower low and a lower high, especially when you got the trend on the 15, and those things are the indications and everything. Obviously, you got the that one from the 1 hour. So the 15 is just going down in structures, giving lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? And then higher low, higher high, and then lower low again. So this is just complementing the structure, just complementing the structure, just being in correlation with the 1 hour indication that is happening. So price is just doing that, going to the downside. You get what I'm saying? So instead of you doing this, right? Stop loss just above the low. You obviously would have had a stop loss above there. Instead of you doing this, you could have done that. This is 1 is to 1.5, right? Risk $100 to make 150. This you risk $100, the same $100 you risk 3 times to make $900. If you're risking $1,000 there, you made 1.5. Yeah, it sounds good enough. I mean, if you were going for 1 is to 1, yeah, sure, that would have been a good trade. Yeah, you are risking $1,000 over and over to make $9,000. If you're risking $1,000, same thing. That's what I'm saying. 1 is to 3, same. So people, what most people they fail to realize is that the same way you can read structure on a bigger time frame, read it the same way on a small time frame, man. Read the same way. Price will always do the same thing. The same way the price doesn't change when it gets to small time frame. It doesn't. Structure doesn't change. It's keep on making the same structure over and over and over and over again. Price will always make lower lows, lower highs. That's it. Regardless what time frame you're on, price will always make lower lows and lower highs. I guess you can see for yourself. Price will always make lower lows and lower highs. That's what price does. Price will always make lower lows and lower highs. Even on the 1 minute. When you go into 5 minutes, 2 minute, 3 minute, price will always make lower lows and lower highs. Price will always make lower lows and lower highs, no matter the time frame. Whether you go into 1 hour, price will always make lower lows and lower highs, and higher highs and higher lows. That's it. The same way you treat smaller, the bigger time frames, treat the smaller time frames the same way. Treat the small time frame the same way. That's how you could have got in this entry method. There you have it. There you have the entry method, right? There you have the entry method. Now price has been kind of bullish going to the upside, right? Going to the upside, being kind of bullish, you know. How could you? How could can you like? How can you take advantage of a situation like this? I mean, simple. Price has been making lower lows, lower highs, going to the downside. Price went up, made a higher high, higher low, came back to correct this level. Went up, came back to correct this one. Immediately there, whether you would have chose this, whatever, there was your entry there also there. The entry would have been triggered. Nah, not necessarily, but if you see price giving structure, you can take it, bro. I mean, price is already reversed. Price already made a shift in market structure. Well, and that will be the new indication to the upside because remember we still have this indication below here, right? As I was saying, if price then decides to come back to the downside, then anything below here you can maybe take to the downside. with a lower low and a lower high. But price made a shift in market structure, and I said this level here seems to be holding price. This level here seems to be holding price. You get what I'm saying? Hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Because this is a 15-minute lower high this year. This also 15-minute lower high. So we have one, two 15-minute lower highs. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can go to the. I'm just showing you on a much broader level. You see, this is a 15-minute lower high. This is a 15-minute lower high. You see, 15-minute lower high. They are the same. You get what I'm saying? They are the same. But I'm saying price. This level seems to be holding price. If price does decides to come to the downside, then you can look to take price to the downside. You get what I'm saying? You can look to take price to the downside. But if price breaks above this, this would be a new indication. Probably you can expect price to come back and correct anything above again. You can take to the downside, but you can remember you can also be part of the indication where price can give you a structure on the 1 minute. You can trade the indication that will happen, right? You can be part of that indication. If price decides to break above this level here on the 1 minute, right? If price decides to break above here, right? Breaks above, gives you a higher high and a higher low. You take it. You can take it, go for 1:3, 1:2, whatever the case may be. This would be more of what the trade would look like. And learn to get those opportunities from the market. Understand structure. Understanding structure is very important, man. This would be honest with you. Understanding structure is very important. Yeah, because you can spot those shifts in market structure. Because I've been seeing some of you, you've been getting it right. Spotting those shifts in market structure, taking advantage of those, when price can be able to do that. As long as you don't understand structure, it will be very difficult for you to capture those kind of moves. That's how I was saying. It was 4010, bro. 4010. If it goes below here, anything with a lower low and a lower high, you take it to the downside. Yeah. But if it breaks about this level here, on a small time frame, anything with the higher high and the higher low on a small time frame, you can look to take it to the upside. Because that will be the new indication that will be happening on the 15. Or you can wait for the indication price to come back and correct. You don't know, adjust up until or underneath. And then anything with a higher high and a higher low, you can be able to take it to the upside again. You get what I'm saying? So mostly, and I always say the 15 always somehow looks like the 1 hour. In most cases, you find that the 1 hour and the 15 minute they always look the same. You see, price was going to the downside. This how it looked on the 1 hour. But here most of the time it was dropping, right? And we had a lot of consolidations being happening. So all of this here, we have you know, a lot of orders which are sitting here. So price would be looking to come and close that distribution of price which happened. You get what I'm saying? But going back to the 1 minute, this is how you can be able to analyze price. Learn to analyze price. Understanding structure. Where did we get the trend? We got the trend from the 15 minute because we saw price broke the 15-minute high low, giving us a lower low, lower high, went up to correct price. Same thing. It's always the same thing over and over again. Right? Indication. There was on the indication on a small time frame, right? Price did go up to correct, right? There was the correction, right? Then from the correction, we got the continuation, right? We got the continuation, which ended up being the new indication also, right? Indication again, right? Price again went down to correct. continuation again, which end up being a new indication again. You know what I'm saying? You get me? But if you would have just took this one from the top there, this one here, or the one from the top, you could have just been holding it up until this level. It would have been a good 1:6. And you kept this would be add-on positions. You kept on adding on positions. Then yeah, adding on. Probably would have got out of the trade, or let me see, also $600. Yeah, what a good 1.5. One is to 15. If you're risking $100, 1.5 USD. If you're risking $1,000, you've got up to 15 pence. So it's just a matter of understanding structure, but don't be harsh on yourself. You'll get there. You'll eventually get to that level. You will eventually get to that level. Price will do what it does. And as you can see, oh my goodness, what is happening here? As you can see, oh, it didn't even give an entry, bro. Oh, crazy. It didn't even give an entry. Are you guys seeing this? It didn't even give an entry, bro. But I just praying about this. So it's just giving us an indication. So 1:3, you see this 1:3 I was talking about. This 1:3 would have just been hit now. Just from a shift in market structure. You were saying, bro?